Continuing our preseason tips and tricks for the NFL betting season, I've got SBR analyst Joe Gavazzi on now to talk about a trick the Sharps use in their betting that we can be looking at for as well in the new season. Welcome back, Joe. You wrote an extensive article breaking down the history of arbitrage and middle situations. Can you quickly define what middle situations are in sports betting?
Sure. Arbitrage or middles happen in any market. You've heard the expression, buy low and sell high. That simply creates a middle. The same is true of sports betting. Anytime you can lock in a wager on a favorite of, say, -3 points and buy back that bet at +5, you got to do so. Put your ego aside, create that middle, and watch at least 10% of those middles roll in. They will create huge bankroll builders in the long runs, whether they're sides or middles. You can do this by playing first half wagers, you can do this by playing games for the entire game, and then at halftime, if you have a significant advantage, come back and play the other team to cover in the second half. Numerous times, especially in football games, have we seen one team open up a big lead in the first half, only to see the other team with pride and a letdown by the favorite team come clawing their way back in. That creates huge middle plays. You can also do it with parlays and teasers. You can get in the first side of a parlay, and then when you have the opportunity, buy back the second half of the parlay. Now, clearly, these are teams that have to go in different time frames. And the same can be true of teasers. Now, in recent years, another way to create middles for yourself, and this can be done, and this is a lot of fun, actually. Play a side in a game, any game. Sportsbooks are now offering in-game lines. For example, at the end of an inning for Major League Baseball games, or when there are significant timeouts in football games, you can create your own middles by being on the right side coming out of the gate and then buying back the other side. Arbitrage middles still exist. As always, it's hard work, and the cardinal rule in playing them: only play with bookmakers who pay.
Okay, so how can we set ourselves up for these opportunities, Joe? What do we need to be looking for when looking at matchups?
Well, you need to be looking at favorite. Here's the best way to do it. Choose a game you really like, either a favorite or a dog. Once that dog takes the early lead, let's say, you'll have the opportunity to bet the favorite back at a much lower price. Let's say you played a dog of +8 or +9 points. He broke out of the gate, scored the first 2 times, and was up 14-0. Now on an in-game line, you'll get to play the favorite at a far cheaper price, thus creating yourself a middle for the game, maybe an 8 or 9 point middle in the game. Correspondingly, if you bet a favorite in the game, favorite bolts out of the gate big time, maybe there have been fumble returns for touchdowns, always look for the turnovers in these games, because those lead to the false scores, and then the team is not as bad as they really look. And look to buy back with that team, again creating yourself a big middle. Again, the cardinal rule: put your ego aside. Don't say, I've locked up this bet, put it in the bag. You've seen that's not how it happens. And secondly, be aware that there can be huge money made with playing arbitrage or middles, only with sportsbooks who pay.
Joe Gavazzi from winningsportsadvice.com. Thanks again for joining us and for the best inside edge on picks and plays for your betting season. Keep it locked right here with us at Sportsbook Review.